So we were up at the content of character conference. I spoke there yesterday, and a couple of people were saying that you have to be saved, right? And that if you believe Jesus died for your sin and rose again and died on the cross, all that good stuff, you will be saved. And they were like, as Esteban was saying, no, you got to do it now because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, you know, and they're trying to get you saved, right? And so a lot of people have done that across the country. I think Christianity is a major religion around the world. And so a lot of people have done that. But what I notice is that they only, from what I can tell, they have only done it because somebody said it. Somebody read the Bible and said, confess Jesus with your mouth, believe in your heart, and you will be saved. And come on down and accept Jesus. So they do it, right? And now they believe that they're saved. They just believe they're saved. But life is hell. And they know, and so life is hell for them who are saved. But because somebody else said, well, we're all human, the flesh is weak, you can't help it, they believe that. And so they're locked into that. And then accepting that if you believe in God, that's enough, but you're going to suffer anyway. You're going to have all this stuff going on, right? And so somebody said that. They believe that. And then they say, well, you could be a son or daughter of God. You could be born again and you sin. They believe that. And so as a Christian, read the Bible, whatever they do, they're still sinning. But because somebody said you could be a son or daughter of God and still sin, they have accepted that. You know what I'm saying? Can I say this? I'm about to say so, but not your name. I'm not going to say your name. I'm talking to the camera. A good example is that I gave this talk yesterday, and after I was done, I went out into the hallway because we had to leave, and a bunch of people came out. And elderly people, these was old people. I've been wondering, where are the old people? So I spoke to a bunch of older people, not millennials, maybe one or two millennials. And they were saying, oh, I didn't know I messed up my family like that, because I was saying how the mothers turn their children away from their fathers and the kids suffer. And they were like, oh, I didn't know I done that. I'm so sorry. My husband did this to me. And I'm like, but he didn't do it to the kids. He did it to you. And these people, nice people, very nice people, but because they believe what somebody said, they're still suffering, they're still screwing up the family, but they think they can't help it because they have believed what somebody said. And they're still in this trap because they believe what someone said. And you never, ever, 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 ever. And the thing about it, when the other preachers was up preaching, they were like, hey man, praise the Lord. One preacher preached so hard and loud, and he was like, don't worry about me, I'm getting ready for church tomorrow. I'm like, you're killing me right now. I mean, just down at it, right? But they believed it because somebody said it. And you can't live that, and you shouldn't be living that way. You cannot believe because somebody said it, no matter who it is. Because that's not a real belief. That's a Satan belief. That's why you don't get better, because you're believing because someone said it. Just because somebody, whether that's true or not, I explained about that whole story of where Jesus said, I mean, when they quote, come on down and accept Jesus, do you believe he died, right? That is a formal belief, but it's a fallen state belief. It really is. That's why you don't change from it. You don't learn from it. You don't grow from it, because it's not the real belief. So it got me to thinking last night about belief. And I'm like, wow, that's so interesting. And I wondered, what did I believe? Wow, y'all waiting to hear, right? I just saw a hand, and then I'll tell you. James, did I see your hand too? No. Okay, just right here.
Well, you're saying you're just believing it because someone said it?
Right.
But Jesus Christ said it in the Bible.
Did you hear him say it?
1 John chapter
No,
3.
did you hear Jesus say
verse
it? That's what I'm
23.
asking you.
Nah,
I'm not saying
I
he
read
didn't
it.
say
I read it in the Bible.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
saying that he didn't say it. I'm
Yeah.
just asking, did you hear him say it?
No, I read it in the Bible.
Right. And then you read it in the Bible and you believe what you read, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then that helped you.
Yes.
In what way?
Well, it's God that.
In what way did it help you?
In every way.
In what way?
Through Jesus
Relax,
Christ.
y'all. You're not. It's not a test, really.
Jesse, you keep saying
Take a
relax.
breath.
I'm chill.
In what way? I'm just talking to everybody.
Yeah.
In what way did it help you when you read it and you believed it?
Well, it's a continual understanding, like, oh, this is the way it helps me. It's a never-ending help.
How has it helped you?
It's helped me learn to let go of things and
Let go of what? You're still sinning. So you said.
I mean,
So you haven't let that go, right?
sure, in the past I've sinned a lot, sure.
So
I
how
ain't done no
has it-
sinning today. Yeah. Nah, but
And this is something for you to just think about, right? No right or wrong, no F. I'm encouraging you. You gotta be an individual. Really. You gotta be in the world but not of it. You really do. And it can happen. It's so interesting. You can literally be in the world with a protective bubble around you and not be of the world. Because the world is truly Satan's world and his children out there running things into the ground. I was looking at this, some excerpts about the so-called impeachment that's happening now. And they have these so-called experts on. They have no idea what they're talking about. I'm like, what? They just make up stuff. They really don't know what they're talking about, but if you don't see that, you believe them. You really, but they literally, any one of us to get up there and say the same thing what they say. Really. They have no idea what they're talking about, but they're called experts, and because they hook that title up to them, you'll believe them. Isn't that something? It's so, I didn't know we were this crazy. I did not know. I didn't know we as human beings were this dumb. We are dumb. No, we are. No wonder Jesus have extra coffee sometimes. He's like, bring me a large, extra large cafe mocha today. It's crazy what we believe, and I have more to say, but I want to hear Will. Go ahead, Will.
well, this is in 1 John 3:23. It says, and this is his commandment, that we should believe on the name of his Son, Jesus Christ, and love one another as he has commanded us. So, I mean,
Right.
God is commanding us to do these things.
Right. And I'm
To
not
believe
saying
in the
don't
name
do it. I'm
Jesus.
just asking you, what do you believe? That's all. I'm not saying
Yeah.
you're wrong for what you believe or anything. I'm just telling you that we are dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so amazing how we just take on stuff.
Very much so.
Yeah.
That's why you got to be aware. That's why you stress awareness being so
Right.
important.
Absolutely.
And awareness is from God.
Yeah, but how do you know that?
Because he's the one who reveals it to you.
How do you know that?
Because it's not of yourself. It's like something new.
How do you know that?
Because it wasn't there in your experience in the past.
And how do you know that?
Because you didn't feel it. You
Do you
didn't
know that
experience it.
God does not want us dumb? Really. He wants his children to be insightful. Really. He doesn't want you to be in this lower level of consciousness. That's why he say pray without ceasing. Because he wants you to always have his mindset. Because it's nothing like what you think the other stuff is. It really, it's so interesting. Aren't you like having a hoot nanny of a time? I'm totally having a hoot nanny of a time. So how many people believe that faith come by hearing? Like when someone is preaching and stuff or talking about the Bible, that's how faith come. Don't be scared. Yes? Are you saying yes? Will, you're saying yes?
Yes.
That faith come by hearing the word from the Bible.
That's not the only way, but it does come. Yes.
Okay, how many people believe that? Don't be scared, it's not a test. Raise your hand, man. You know you believe it? Okay. Look at that. You believe that too? I'm sorry?
Yeah, for faith. Yep.
Let me tell you a very interesting experience. And then I got to end. So yesterday, Nick almost got saved twice at least. It was so funny. They were telling Nick, you believe Jesus Lord and Savior, right? You need to confess it now. Nick like, well, can I wait till later? No, you got to do it now. Oh, James, you had a question online or something?
No, I wanted you to remember to answer your last week's biblical question.
Oh, okay. Amazing. After this, I might not answer that. I may let y'all smoke on it a little bit longer. But, so Nick, really nice people though. It's not a put down to them. Christian, really kind to us, and just really nice. It just, it was interesting. So we were riding with the driver, and I let Nick sit in front. I sat in the back, right? So that I could, whatever. And so they were getting Nick saved, but Nick wouldn't accept it. And they were so nice in it, and Nick still wouldn't accept it. And I thought about something Nick had told me a while back. So some of you know Nick was an atheist before. My producer used to be an atheist when he lived in Canada. And so according to him, if I'm not telling it right, you remind me, Nick said that when President Trump ran for president, for a while he was believing all the things that the people were saying. He was racist, he was this, he was that, he believed that. But then after a while he realized that, wow, they so mean to him. Why are they so mean to him? Why are they so nasty? And when he wondered about that, it made him realize that there was evil. He was like, oh, that's evil. Evil does this. And then he thought, well, evil is this. There must be God. And that's how he found God. That's how he returned to God. It wasn't by hearing the word. It was by revealing to him. And I thought that is such that is such an amazing way. That's the way it's supposed to happen, from within, not without. You ain't gonna never get no faith when somebody preaches the Bible to you. You believe, but it's a fallen state belief. It's an intellectual belief, and that's why once you believe that person that tell you you're saved because you believe Jesus, that's all you go. That's all the further you go. Now you got to accept all the other crap. You're a sinner. You're going to sin the rest of your life because you have accepted belief from without rather than from within. And you can always tell when people accept belief from without instead of from within, because once you see it from within, you don't have to look for another preacher. You don't have to follow nobody. You don't have to be running from radio host to radio host because you got it.
That's right.
Really, you got it, and you just start growing from within. But if you learn this intellectually, you're still going from anybody that sounds good. Anybody that has some more little new information, anybody that presents it in a good kind of a way, you'll run from that. You'll leave me and go to them. And then you hear somebody else say it, you'll leave that person and go to them, and you're really all excited about the person and the way that they speak, rather than seeing it for yourself from within. Really, you're never going to get it just by hearing somebody preach the Bible. You'll get it intellectually, but you're subject to that person now or to someone else preaching the Bible. That's why if they say, oh, faith come by hearing and hearing the word, and you believe it, you got it, right? Now they're going to say, well, you can't help but sin. Or you're going to accept when they say Jesus is God. Whatever they say now and whatever anybody else says that sound like that, they got you. And that's why your life is screwed up. You got to live from within now. The kingdom of heaven is a brand new location. And it was created by Christ. He came and he created a secret place inside. And everything will be revealed to you. I believe in nothing and nobody. I don't know how it changed, but it changed. Because I used to be that way too, run from preacher to preacher. Anybody that sound good or look good, I would go to them because I had not found what I was looking for. I don't believe in anything because I can now see, right? And I'm just guided by what I see. That's why I have a wait-and-see attitude now. I don't need to be all caught up with anybody or anything. Once you are truly born again, you don't live by this crap that's going on in the world. You'll be in it, but not of it. You will live by the light of God inside of you. You don't need another preacher to tell you something else, because you now have it. You know just what the preacher knows. If the preacher has received it from God, you will too. You know, God is not going to treat the preacher any better than he treats you. He loves you. And the only thing that the preacher is supposed to do is to point you back to yourself, where the kingdom of heaven is located. He's not supposed to have you run into him and from preacher to preacher. But if you don't have it for yourself, you will be running from place to place still looking. But you have it in you. The kingdom of heaven is in. I don't believe in all this stuff anymore. That's why I tell you, when you hear, let it go in one ear and out the other. Don't hold on to it. It's just knowledge. And you'll get stuck on knowledge, and all it's doing is building your ego. For anyone to think that you could be a son or daughter of God and still sin, you've got to be crazy. And God is not of sin. How do you think you have his nature and you still sin? But you believe that because you believe the first person when they said it, and they got you. You're being controlled and don't know it. You're brainwashed and don't know it. Disagree with me, somebody.
I agree.
I'm telling you, it's so amazing.